Presko noon itong si Bacolao bago ho tayo mag-bloodbath sa Lunes. Dito sa video na to pag-usapan din ho natin ang naging ambush interview dito kay Auntie Claire. Pero bago yan, sa like at sa subscribe, masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button nandyan lang ho sa bahay na nga. Unahin na ho muna natin itong kay Auntie Claire. Pinuna na ho niya yung di umanong balita na hindi marunong gumamit ng computer itong si BP Sara. Big deal ho kay Auntie Claire ha. Ang di umanong hindi marunong gumamit. Pero ako hindi ako naniniwalang hindi marunong gumamit ng computer itong si BP Sara. At dahil rin ho hindi naniniwala na basihan ng pagiging mahusay na leader na marunong ka o hindi ka marunong gumamit ng computer. Hindi ho yan, napakalaking kalokohan yan. Yung mga bilyonaryo, yung mga matatandang bilyonaryo, wala ho silang mga smartphone. Si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, hindi ho gumagamit ng smartphone. Pero nakakapagpatakbo ho sila ng mga malalaking kumpanya, di ba? Si Warren Buffett, 'di ba? Hindi ho gumagamit ng ng smartphone, no? Hindi ho siya mahilig sa mga pindot. Ano lang ho, yung phone ho nila, yung mga makaluma pa. Itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, hindi ho gumagamit ng smartphone. Gusto niya yung pindot-pindot pa rin. Kaya hindi ho basihan yung paggamit ng computer kung magiging mahusay o hindi mahusay na leader ang isang individual. Ito mga kababayan, panoorin natin ang ambush interview para dito kay Auntie Claire. Game.
Yun ang nakakaalarma
Naku,
dahil
nakakaalarma.
nais niyang maging pangulo. Pero paano siyang magkakaroon ng tamang pagpapasya? Ni paggamit ng computer ay hindi niya alam.
Naku, yari tayo dyan. So ang basihan ng pagkakaroon ng tamang pagpapasya ay dapat marunong kang gumamit ng computer. O, palakpakan ho natin ang tagapagsalita ng Malacanang dyan sa isa na yan. O, palakpakan ho natin. O. Kaya ganyan kalupit si Auntie Claire. Ha? O.
From the honestly believe na hindi talaga marunong gumamit ng computer si VP Sara and how she can leader the country kung hindi kahit simpleng teknolohiya hindi niya kaya.
Siya magpapatunay niyan.
Simpleng teknolohiya, hindi kaya. Pambira ka naman na kuya. Masyado ka naman. Kung makapag-ano ka naman, di ba?
Inamin niya mismo na siya ay hindi marunong gumamit ng computer.
Yan.
At ginagamit lamang niya ito kapag nagzo-zoom. So most probably may tagapindot pa siya nito.
Hindi kasi ganito ho yan mga kababayan. Tayo ay araw-araw gumagamit ng computer. Pero hindi basihan sa katalinuhan o sa decision making ng isang individual. Kung marunong siya o hindi siya marunong gumamit nito. Hindi yung nagiging basihan nitong si Auntie Claire, ang labo naman ho nun. Diba? Ang labo naman ho nun. Paano na lang yung mga naging leader nung mga naunang panahon na ang gaganda ng mga decision making nila nung hindi pa uso computer. Paano nila napaunlad yung kanilang mga bansa, mga nasasakupan. Gayong nung mga panahon na yun, wala pa palang computer. Ngayon, panahon, ika nga, digital age na tayo ngayon. Di ba? Kung marunong kang gumamit ng computer, advantage point para sa'yo. Pero hindi makakaragdag yun. Siguro makakaragdag ng konti dahil marunong kang gumamit ng ganito, ganyan. Pero yung decision making mo, yung political will mo, hindi naman nanggagaling yun sa computer. Hindi naman, ika nga, sasabihin sa'yo ng computer, dapat gawin mo to, dapat gawin mo. Hindi ho. Yun, ika nga, judgment call ng isang tao. May computer, may walang computer, yun ho ang mangyayari doon.
At yun ang nakakaalarma
yan?
dahil nais niyang maging pangulo. Pero paano siyang magkakaroon ng tamang pagpapasya?
Nako,
Yung
naloko na.
paggamit ng computer ay hindi niya alam. At inamin naman niya to nung siya ay DepEd Secretary. Pati yung matatag curriculum, hindi niya ito kayang i-review dahil ang sabi niya, wala siyang alam. At ang kaya niya lang gawin ay magpukpok ng tao. So, papaano
Yun ho talaga trabaho ng isang leader. Ang trabaho ng isang leader kumumpas. Di ba? Halimbawa yung mga mayayamang leader, mga mayayamang bilyonaryo, hindi naman ho nila alam lahat ng mga ginagawa nila. Kumbaga, kinukuha ho nila lahat ng mahuhusay doon sa mga larangan na yun para sila magtrabaho para sa kanila. Di ba? Halimbawa na lamang ho, mga kababayan, ito ho bang mga CEO ng mga malalaking kumpanya ngayong mga panahon na to, lahat ba ng aspeto ng trabaho sa kanilang kumpanya ay alam nila, pati yung mga sa engineering, doon sa kanilang mga laboratorio, alam ho ba nila lahat yun? Hindi ho nila alam yun. Ang magaling sila, leadership, magaling ho silang kumumpas. Ngayon kung nagma-micromanaging ka, lahat ng bagay dapat alam mo, kagaya nitong si Marcos Jr. Baka hindi ka leader, adik ka. Baka adik ang tawag sa'yo, hindi dapat leader. Kasi yung mga mga ganyang klaseng tao, malamang adik yan. Lahat ng aspeto ng bagay, lahat ng mga usapin, alam nila at meron silang maibabato. Ibig sabihin ano yan, kung di bida-bida adik yan. Diba? Tayo kasi pagka hindi natin alam ang usapin, halimbawa sa negosyo, hindi tayo maalam diyan, hindi tayo dumadaldal. Halimbawa pagdating sa larangan ng medisina, dahil di naman tayo doktor, di tayo dumadaldal kung meron tayong kausap. Hindi ko kagaya ng ibang mga tao na pagka kahit na anong topic ang yung hiharap sa kanila, talaga may mababato sila. Dalawang bagay lang yun, bida-bida o adik yan. Kaya pili na lang ho kayo kung alin si Marcos Jr. yan.
Mamahala ang isang kagaya ng Vice Presidente na magpupukpok
Ako
ng tao nang hindi niya nare-review yung mga ginagawa ng mga
Ayaw na ni Jinky Luistro. Galit na siya sa'yo, Auntie Claire. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, medyo naurot lang ho tayo doon sa mga sinabi na ni Auntie Claire. Punta na ho tayo dito kay Baculaw, ha? Jinky Luistro, Saturday News Forum ho tayo. Gig! Naku, matindi ho ito. Pumupustura pa tong si Baculaw bago mag-umpisang
Okay na kayo? Sound tsaka
sound.
lighting?
Nako, okay na ba? Pambira ka lang pa naman, bakbakan na. Magpapaganda pa pala tong si Baculaw. Ikutin mo muna. Ba't di ka pa kasi nagpa-parlor muna bago ka humarap dyan sa Saturday News Forum na yun? Lang yung Baculaw talaga to. O, game na. Pinaghihintay nyo pa sambay ng Pilipino.
Sige, umpisa na tayo.
Umpisa na tayo. Ano ba sasabihin ni Baculaw dito?
For this Saturday, we have only one guest who will be the...
O yan, dito tayo.
Doon sa morning.
Yan, kay Baculaw. Rekta, Baculaw tayo.
Good morning. In response muna doon sa mga comments na airtight ang kaso and 99.9% ang conviction, tayo po ever since we're very much conservative, no? So I wish to invite the attention of the public to the fact that we have never seen the defense evidence, even the slightest way. This is for the reason that in the entire proceeding before the Justice Committee, the defense team never appeared, never availed of the opportunity,
Yan.
and never presented even a single evidence, no? So, of course, we have seen the evidence. They're strong enough for the purpose of determination of probable cause. Pero pagdating po sa trial, assuming that the committee report, the finding of probable cause will be affirmed by at least 1/3 of the members of the House, assuming only, pagdating po sa trial, I think it is important to see first the defense evidence.
Yo.
No?
At least honest tong si Baculaw na walang airtight, walang 99.9% conviction. Wala akong ganun. Magkakagulatan na lang ho tayo dyan sa Senado. Pagkalinatag na ng kampo ni VP Sara kung anong hawak-hawak nila dyan sa mga ibinabato laban sa kanila. Laban dito kay VP Sara dyan sa impeachment.
We've seen the prosecution's evidence, we've seen the complainant's evidence, but we need to see first the defense evidence for us to be able to assess kumusta ang strength ng evidence for purposes of conviction. Now, with regards to the current proceeding before the House of Representatives, alam po natin lahat na natapos na ang determination of probable cause ng Justice Committee. Na-approve na rin po ng Justice Committee ang committee report along with the resolution setting forth the articles of impeachment. As a matter of fact, we have transmitted already all these documents to the plenary. Now, we are anticipating that this coming Monday, we will be given the opportunity to defend the committee report, no? To defend the findings of probable cause, to defend the articles of impeachment. We will anticipate that there will be debate in as far as our findings of probable cause is concerned. Pwede rin natin i-anticipate the proceeding that we had in the Justice Committee might be questioned by some of the members of the House, but we will be responding to all the questions of the House members. What is important is for the Justice Committee to be able to sponsor, defend this committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. And after the debate, we can look forward to the plenary vote. The vote will be nominal, ibig sabihin, tatawagin bawat miyembro ng House of Representatives to cast their vote whether the same is yes or no. On the assumption only that we will be able to get at least 1/3 vote of all the members of the House, then this means that the articles of impeachment will be transmitted immediately to the Senate, no? Now, if we fail to get that 1/3 vote, the effect of the same will be automatic dismissal of the impeachment complaint, no?
Yan.
That would be all.
So ano mangyayari sa pag nag-convene na yung plenary sa Monday? Will you read the report or summarize it?
I will be delivering a sponsorship speech
Ging.
which basically describes the proceeding that we had in the Justice Committee. We will be presenting as well in our sponsorship speech the consolidated grounds of impeachment, which is now under one set of articles of impeachment. You will remember that this is originally Sabalia complaint, which has 6 grounds, and Cabrera complaint, which has 7 grounds. But upon the motion of Congresswoman Laila De Lima, the Justice Committee decided to consolidate all these grounds. The similar grounds were put under one article only, and now we have one set of articles of impeachment. This is the articles of impeachment set forth by the resolution approved by more than the majority members of the Justice Committee, at ito rin po ang nakapaloob dito sa ating committee report. So, in conclusion, the sponsorship speech will deal on the summary of the entire proceeding, the grounds or the articles incorporated under one set of articles of impeachment. We will be discussing as well the evidence that we have established so far, plus our submission that the Justice Committee found probable cause, in which case we will be soliciting the affirmation or the support of the members of the House of Representatives.
Ma'am, these articles of impeachment, kakaiba sa ibang resolution. It needs no majority votes ng mga miyembro. Paano kung magko-sponsor o magko-author dun sa resolution na yan, ay more than 106 na, hindi ba tantamount sa approve na ito?
Well, actually, under the Constitution, ang requirement po is at least 1/3. We are 318. So, a
Hindi marunong magbilang yung si Sir, hindi niya alam yung 1/3.
vote of 106
Pagbigyan nyo na.
House members is already enough to solicit the approval of the committee report, the resolution, as well as the articles of impeachment. Yun po yun. 106 vote is enough to solicit the approval of these documents and to warrant the transmittal of the articles of impeachment to the Senate.
Sabam, anong botohan dito ang gagawin? Sigawan, viva voce, o ipapaliwanag ng bawat isang kanilang mga magiging boto?
Ito naman si
This will
Kuya,
be-
hindi nakikinig, tatawagan nga isa-isa at boboto.
Nominal voting, which means that the House members will be called one after the other. They will be casting their vote by saying yes or no. But as to the opportunity to explain, perhaps we will leave it to the Rules Committee, whether the same will be provided to the members of the House.
Ma'am, from your vantage point, is there a need to secure more votes other than what is required in the Constitution?
From my perspective, yes. Because in the Justice Committee, it's 53-0 sa probable cause, 55-0 pagdating sa approval ng committee report. So, I believe that the House of Representatives should be able to show as well the unanimity of their position, the same way that the Justice Committee was able to show the same.
What if, ma'am, you fail to, I mean, the leadership fails to secure the same number of votes garnered when the impeachment of the Vice President was first discussed at the plenary last year? Ang ibig bang sabihin nito, ma'am, that the support in the House has weakened?
Well, it only means that the members are having a lot of things which they are considering, no? Kasi if you will remember, the grounds are almost the same. The grounds in the first impeachment back to the 19th Congress and the grounds under the current impeachment now that we are under the 20th Congress, they're almost the same, no? So if some members are changing their position on this impeachment, it only means that there are factors which are present now, not present before, which probably affect their position today.
Ma'am, follow-up na lang. Last year, hindi namin narinig yung mga salitang will vote based on their conscience. But it's now na medyo frequently naririnig namin yon. Ano yung motibasyon? Bakit all of a sudden may mga ganitong volatilya? Samantalang nung nakaraang taon, ma'am, nag-uunahan pa yung mga kasamahan ninyo sa pagpirma.
Yan.
Perhaps it has something to do with
FLR. FLR yan, madam. FLR yan sigurado.
other factors to consider in deciding on this impeachment, no? Ito, I discussed this already in the other interviews. One, of course, is how a member of the House appreciate the evidence. Second is the fact that the members of the House are all political personalities, which means that they are considering as well their political interest. Third, the fact that the national election is already approaching. So I think these are reasonable considerations for the House members. If ever those who voted in favor of impeachment during the 19th Congress will be changing their mind under the current impeachment.
Magbibigyan ba ng opportunity yung mga congressmen na Dutertes to explain why they don't agree with the impeachment case?
Well, there will be debate after the
Yun.
sponsorship speech, and I think everybody will be given the opportunity to participate in the debate, no? I'm quite sure about that, the interpellation. But with respect to the explanation of vote, siguro i-consider din ng rules kung ilan ang House members who are interested to explain their vote. This is actually a privilege which is given to the House members, but of course, kino-consider din ilan ba ang gustong mag-explain ng kanilang position about the impeachment. Perhaps if they wish to participate, it's better to participate in the interpellations so that the Filipino people will hear their arguments,
Yan.
which the Justice Committee will definitely respond.
Iyo, tuloy natin.
Si Congressman Puno, nagsabi kamakailan na may mga pressure. Kaya sa kanyang estimate, 150 to 180 lamang ang maaaring pumirma para sa impeachment. Binanggit niya yung seeming popularity sa Mindanao ni Vice President Sara Duterte at sa mga non-Mindanaoan may binanggit siyang 3 letra. May pressure daw mula sa INC. Tanong ko po sa inyo, naramdaman po ba niyo yung pressure na yun?
Well, of course, on that concern, I can speak only for myself, no? Wala po akong naramdamang pressure.
Baka maleta meron ka. Pressure wala daw baka maleta meron. Kayo ba naman? Diba, kung maraming maleta, may pressure ka ba mararamdaman? Anak ng tao ka. At saka hindi na magpaparamdam sa iyo yung INC. Alam naman nila kung sino nagmamay-ari kay Jinky Luistro. Diba?
Neither from the leadership nor from the INC. Since day one of our proceeding in the Justice Committee, maliwanag po ang appreciation natin dito. This is not a matter of choice. This is a matter of duty. Whether I like it or not, I need to proceed because this is the mandate of the Constitution.
Sa mga kasamahan yung mambabatas, narinig niyo po ba na tumutugma yung kwento dun sa mga nabanggit ng ni Congressman Puno?
Well, I do hear that from my colleagues. Discussions about the INC, discussions about the approaching national election, discussions about the position of the party leadership. But nonetheless, in my humble submission, I think
Ang tanong, kung sakali man totoo yung sinasabi nila sa INC, ang tanong dito, masama ba yun? Siguro sumangguni itong mga congressman na to sa pamunuan ng INC. At tinanong ang INC, ano ba sa tingin nyo ang impeachment na to? At sinabi ng INC na, hindi kami favorable dyan kasi kita nyo naman yung panggigibawi kay VP Sara. Kayo, kung gusto yung bumoto ng impeachment, nasa inyo yan. Pero hindi kayo makakatanggap ng suporta sa 2028 sa INC. Di ba? Ganun lang naman kasimple yun eh. Ngayon, hindi pressure yun. Hindi pressure galing sa INC yun. Pressure yun doon sa mga congressman kung makikiisa ba sila sa paninira kay VP Sara o makikiisa sila at makakatanggap sila ng suporta sa INC sa 2028 para sa kanilang mga kandidatura. Kasi ang INC alam nila na pamumulitika yan. Alam nila na ang ginagawa na yan kay VP Sara para lamang makatakas yung mga congressman na nagnakaw sa kaban ng sambayan ng Pilipino noong 2028. Ay noong nagdaang 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 national budget doon sa mga flood control project, di ba?
ultimately
Talaga
it
bakulaw,
will be the conscience of the members of the House which will prevail at the actual voting. No? After you have considered the evidence, after you have considered the party position, I think at the end of the day, ang dapat isipin, or sana ang isipin, will be for the best interest of the Philippine nation.
Ma'am, ang naririnig natin, ang binabanggit na ehemplo, nung nakaraang eleksyon, may 2 congressist sa Maynila na muntik na pinatikim na ng 2 pressure na ito. Congressman Chua at saka si Congressman Benny Abante. Yun ho ba sa palagay nyo epektibong pressure o surmountable pressure para dun sa mga gustong pumirma sa impeachment?
Perhaps it depends on the House member, no? If you are affected or perhaps threatened by maneuvering like what you witnessed to what happened to Congressman Joel Chua and Congressman Benny Abante, perhaps the House member will be affected, no? But if the appreciation about the constitutional duty is heavier, then the House member will be maintaining to consider what is best for the country and the Filipino people.
Hindi. What is best para doon sa mga nagnakaw sa kaban ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Pagka bumoto ka dyan, para yan doon sa mga nagnakaw sa kaban ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Doon sa mga contractor, sa mga ghost project, sa mga, di ba, doon sa mga lahat ng na-deliveran na maleta, doon ka pabor. Pagka hindi ka bumoto, hindi ka pumirma, hindi ka sang-ayon sa impeachment na yan, ibig sabihin, pabor ka sa sambayan ng Pilipino na mapanagot yung mga nakatanggap ng maleta dyan sa mga maanumalyang flood control project. Ganun lang makasimple.
Dalawang pressure na yan, o pressures, ang pinag-ugatan kung bakit yung tanong ng kasama nating si Tenten, naririnig na ngayon yung salitang conscience vote.
Yan.
Well, I cannot speak for the House members, no, but ever since in the 19th Congress, I think that is a very reasonable thing to consider. Na you do not just consider the evidence, you do not just consider the party position, you must consider also what is being dictated by your conscience. And by conscience, it means what is morally right, what is best for the Filipino people.
Meron lang ho akong isisingit dito yung mga nasa Facebook, paki-report ho itong page na to, no. Hindi ho atin ang FB page na to. Kinuha ho yung larawan natin, lahat kinuha pati content, no. Hindi ho atin ito. Wala ho akong pagmamayaring FB page. Okay, wala ho tayong FB page. Sa mga nakakakita ho nito, pwede nyo na ho siyang pakireport para ika nga mawala itong impostor na to. Hindi ho atin ito. Pakireport ho nitong page na to. At para kung ano pa, baka kung ano-ano kasing i-post ng page na yan at i-connecta ho sa atin. No? Mahirap na. Hindi ho atin yung page na yan. Sa bawat video ho natin, ipapakita na ho natin yung larawan na yan. No? Yung page na yan. Hindi ho atin to. Wala ho tayong FB page. Pwede nyo na hong pakireport ito. Makikita nyo naman, PH update. Tapos meron siya 62K followers, 10 following. I-report nyo ho. Ano ho yan? Impostor ho ho yan.
What is best for the welfare of our country.
Okay. Ma'am, of course, sabi nga nila, yung politics ngayon almost exact science na. Namamap na kung sinong boboto kay ganon, kung saang geographic location, malakas ang ganito, ganong grupo. Ma'am, yung ba'y napag-usapan man lang ninyo ng mga kapartido ninyo, kagrupo ng mga kongresista para ma-estimate ninyo kung ilan ang matitira sa mga bumoto at ilan ang madadagdag sa pwedeng mga bumoto?
Are you talking about the voting in the plenary?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, hindi. Sapagkat ang focus po natin is only on the proceeding. As a matter of fact, I will be standing in the plenary, I think this coming Monday, but I never preempted as to who will be voting in favor of the impeachment and who will not be voting in favor of the impeachment. In
Kompleto
other
na ho, may
words,
boto na yan.
my focus only is to defend the findings of probable cause of the Justice Committee. As to who will be voting to affirm the same, we're leaving that up to the exclusive judgment of the members of the House of
So, ma'am, you are
Representatives.
giving the reason, but you are not campaigning.
No, I'm not campaigning.
Sino magpe-preside sa...
Hindi naman kasi trabaho ni Jinky Luistro yun. Trabaho ni Jinky Luistro, ika nga, kumbinsihin ng madlang Pilipino na talagang may probable cause. Ngayon, yung may trabaho doon sa para magkaroon ng pirma yan sa House of Representatives, siyempre yung mga congressman na merong maleta, sila ho ang sila ho ang obligasyon na ho nila yun. Yung mga nakatanggap ng maleta kay Saldico, sila ho ang may obligasyon doon sa pangangampanya para ma-impeach si BP Sara dyan sa plenaryo. Ganun lang naman.
sa session sa Monday.
Pinapahirapan
Let
nyo.
me just clarify that. I'm not campaigning in the sense that I don't reach out to House members. I don't call them. I don't talk to them. But of course, the purpose of standing in the plenary this coming Monday is to defend the findings of the committee and to solicit the affirmation of the rest of the House members that the findings is correct, that the appreciation is correct, that this must be transmitted to the Senate for trial. But other than that, I do not resort to other means to be able to communicate to the House members. As a matter of fact, when I stand in the plenary this coming Monday, that will be the first time that I will be discussing it publicly to all the members of the House of Representatives.
But will the plenary allow yung dissenting votes from members of the Duterte family na nasa Congress? Or yung mga young congressmen na tumitira sa
Well, since this is a political exercise, of course we anticipate that there will be members of the House who are against the findings of the Justice Committee. So they will be making manifestations, they will be raising questions perhaps on constitutionality and the manner of appreciation of evidence. We anticipate all this. And I think that's part of due process, so that there will be thorough deliberation before the voting on the approval of the committee report.
Ma'am, gaano magiging lenient at maunawain yung liderato ng Kamara sakaling yung target natin na numero ay hindi ma-achieve? Magre-resulta ba ito dun sa posibleng rigudon sa membership at leadership ng mga major committees? Even speakership for that matter.
I cannot speak for the leadership, no? Pero gaano ba ka-lenient ang leadership? Well, I think everybody understands naman that this is a political exercise. There are a lot of national parties in the House. So, tingin ko naman even the leadership is anticipating that there will be some members of the House, we do not know the number, who will not be supportive of the Justice Committee. As to whether this will result to the reorganization of the leadership, perhaps let's wait and see kung anong mangyayari.
Yung konteksto sa tanong ko na ito, ma'am, ay dahil alam naman natin na yung mayorya ngayon sa Kamara ay binubuo ng coalition of political parties. Nakikita po ba natin na pagkatapos nitong historic na botohan na ito sa Lunes, nakikita ba natin yung pagtalon ng mga ibang dating kabilang dun sa majority coalition papunta dun sa opposition?
I am very much conservative in my approach in this political exercise, and it has never been my practice really to preempt things from even before they happen, no? So, I really cannot comment if ever there will be House members who will be transferring from one party to another after the result of voting on these articles of impeachment.
Sige ma'am, medyo i-rephrase ko lang ng konti yung tanong. Baka makakuha kami ng sagot. Ma'am, alam naman natin na nakakati ang House generally sa minority at majority. Pag bumoto ka sa speaker, yung nanalong speaker, you are...
Important concerns which are being voted upon in the plenary. This is just one constitutional process where the decision, the positions of the House members will be solicited. Ako, from my end, I don't think that this will immediately result to transferring to the minority.
Ma'am, kayo po yung lawyer, so magaling po kasi semantics. Sabi nyo, this is just the one. Hindi ho ba, this is the one?
Yeah, I understand and I recognize that this is a very important political process, no? But there are other policies, issues which are being voted upon, which are equally important to this political process as well, no? So, tingin ko naman, hindi naman ito lang yung magiging consideration ng leadership in deciding with respect to the perceived reorganization, should I say, after this political exercise.
Ma'am, since you will defend the articles of impeachment, tama ba na ang kasunod kong inference, kayo magiging lead ng prosecution team?
That's another matter which I cannot preempt, no? Well, of course, I acknowledge na back in 19 Congress, tayo po ay bahagi ng prosecution panel. But this is a different situation already. We do not know whether we will be elected. And let me make it clear to the viewing public, ang pagiging taga-usig po, being one of the prosecutors, we do not